Cool. Well, hello everybody. I'm Benjamin. I come from RIMS ACC. So I'm going to introduce you today a new, not a new, but a big problem which can happen to us, a traffic controller, during a deteriorating condition, which is a radio failure. So my presentation will be in two parts. So the first part will be the radio failure coming from the plane, and the other part, radio failure from the ATC system. So the radio failure coming from the plane. So we have to react depending on the kind of failure. Sometimes we just have no radio contact. The plane is supposed to contact us because it's sent by the previous sector. And we don't have any contact, so we have to, the air traffic control have to react by phoning the previous sector and trying to check if it's not lost on frequency, because most of the time it is that problem. Sometimes the plane can have an emission failure, which means that we have to, it can receive all the clearance he is given, but we can't have any readbacks from him. So the readbacks must be done in different ways. Like we can ask him to squawk ident if he, or to give him just to turn left 10 degrees to readbacks to show us that he understood what we say to him. Another problem which is the reception failure, which means the plane can transmit and he can't receive what we are saying to him, all the clearance. So we just have to continue to transmit, even if we know he can receive us. So it's just what it's written in the not in the constitution, but in the law, in the regulation. And the main problem is the total failure, which means that he can't emit and he can't receive. So first he has to squawk on his squawk A7600, which means on our radar screen we will have the label which show radio off. We have the 7-minute rules, so which means that the plane, if he's not at the level he planned on his flight plan, he has to join this level after 7 minutes. If he's not on the route he planned, he has to join this route after 7 minutes. And why 7 minutes? It's the time which is needed by the air traffic controller to phone and warn all the other sector that he will the plane won't call them, or the plane won't call them, and that's why they have to do everything that has to be done. So as I say, he has to join the plane route as soon as possible, and the air traffic control has to protect the plane track, which means that if there is a total radio failure, he has to we have to put 2,000 feet between the plane which is on the radio failure and another plane, because when there is no radio on a plane, it's not RVSM approved, which means that we have to give, if it's over flight level 290, we have to give him 2,000 feet. So now, I forgot one slide. Yeah. So now, when the failure comes from the ATC radio system, so as we can see here, it's the ODS environment. So where air traffic controller in the ACC works. So here you have the radar screen, the microphone, the speakers here, and here so we have the last whistle rescue radio, which when there is a failure from the radio system, we have to use to contact the plane. So the radio network structure, I'm sorry, I have to just to introduce it very quickly. So in in green we can see in a normal way, when it works normally, we have we select all the frequency on our radio frequency selector, and it goes through a system which mixes all the frequency and just send them after on the normal antenna, the principal antenna. And when there's a failure of the ATC radio system, so we just make a phone. It's a kind of phone. We select the frequencies we need, and it go direct without going through the system, direct to the rescue antenna. So, as I said here, you can see you can select only 5 frequencies when you are on the last resort rescue radio. So, which means that you must be on a good position in the control room, because if you're not on a good position, because every sector has a position assigned. So if you're not on the assigned position, you won't be able to talk to the plane. So when we take the phone off its position, the frequency will be red and circle with blue. An alarm will ring under technical supervision, which means everything which has to be done will be done by the technical supervisor. So for us, air traffic controller, operational consequences. So the frequency selected is in traffic mode, which means that if we have a failure on 2 frequencies, for example, we will have to, if 2 planes on the 2 different frequencies contact us, it will create a problem. We won't be able to hear them properly. So it can be a big trouble for the air traffic controller. It's another way to work. After, as I said, and we saw on the architecture of the network, the frequency is disconnected on the radio network. It works only on VHF, which means that sometimes we can have, for example, military planes on frequency, and if the UHF frequency doesn't work, it can be a big problem for us. We can't have them in contact. And the strategic controller is unable to listen, so sometimes it creates more problem for the controller, and they have to communicate more than usual, because he can't just do what he has to do if it was in a normal way, and if he has to split the impacted sectors just to have only one frequency. It doesn't work on the position, because otherwise he will have his microphone and is on the phone as well, so it would be a big problem. So now to conclude, we can say that now with data link, which is going to appear in France and is already working in some area control center, it's gonna be those problems are going to disappear, because we will communicate only with data. So if we have a problem, we will always have another way to communicate with the plane, even if we also have the ARCAS system. Thank you for your attention. If you one more minute.
Yes, exactly. I think it's a good idea.